สวัสดีครับมาพบกับรายการฝรั่งขี้นกสอนภาษาไทยตอนที่14นะครับวันนี้จะสอนเกี่ยวกับการกินในภาษาไทยแต่จริงๆเราจะสอนแค่คำว่ากินว่ามีคำว่าอะไรบ้างในภาษาไทยสำหรับคำว่า eat นะครับ as you know there are more than one words there's more than one word for the word eat in Thai and there's more than one word in English too, right? You can eat, you can dine. And then we have all kinds of slang, right? To chow down, to destroy. All of these things, like in Thai, you might say "กระซวก," right? "กระซวก" means to eat something really quickly. Another word that you could use, I have heard used sometimes, is สังหาร but I'll get to those in a second. I'll come back to this. I want to talk about the standard words for eat first. So this is also a good time to talk about different levels in Thai. Okay, so let's see, where do we want to start? Let's start with the basic word that everybody probably knows, that you probably learned from the very beginning. The first word would be, right, gin. And then another word that is often, that you'll hear often as a beginning Thai speaker, and you'll hear too, but I mean, like, it is a word that you'll run into, is the word taan, right? And taan has other meanings as well. Taan could also mean, like, when you give someone something, if you give them knowledge, you give them food, you give them anything that helps their life improve in quality, which means that if you buy them prostitutes or, help them cheat or something like this, it's something that's amoral or immoral from Buddhist standpoint, then that's not considered as haitan. But if you give someone knowledge, if you help them do something that is moral, then you will be giving them taan, and you will receive then in return for this giving of taan bun, of course, bun merit, right? So that's what, but taan here is used as a verb and it just means to eat. So you could say gin khao liyang, or you could say liyang, taan khao liyang. I do feel like taan khao is a bit more formal. I don't feel like, I'm pretty sure that it is. Taan khao is a bit more formal, but it's not quite as much as the next word. The next word is then one you'll see in taxi cabs a lot is ห้ามรับประทานอาหารในรถ right? Oh, sorry, I said it wrong. Sorry, รับประทานอาหาร not รับประทานนะประทาน no ประทาน right? ประทานอาหาร so รับประทานอาหาร is the word for to eat, like one of the more official or formal senses. So look, you can see here the word taan is still located within this. So rap here, receive, ประทานอาหาร, right? So literally it's to receive, eat food. Right? It's just a bit more full form of the word taan, and so it's just a bit more formal or official, or tangan, as you'd say in Thai. Tangan, not tangan, not tangan. And I'll put that down at the bottom too, tangan, official or formal, right? So. But then aside from that, so those are words that are official, in officialdom or formal speech for the public, right? But what about, obviously we have in Thai, the three pillars of Thai society are the Chat, Sasana, and Pramahakasat, right? The nation Chat, the religion Sasana, which of course means Sasana Put, Nikai Theravada, right? So the Buddhism with the sect of Theravada, right? And then finally Pramahakasat, the king, right? So that isn't surprising then that there's one set of language. Oh, and recently we've added Bachashon, but I won't discuss that. So now there are four pillars. But going back to 100 years ago, in early 1900s, late 1800s, they began the doctrine of the Chat, Sasana Pramahakasat. So it's not surprising that before and after. So this isn't something that came with this institution. It had already existed, but there's a certain set of language for the king. A certain set of that's used, well, not with the king, but with royalty, right? So it's called raachaasap. Racha is the, I believe, Sanskrit word for king or monarch, and sap is from kamsap, right? Vocabulary. So it's king's vocabulary or royal vocabulary. So the word for eat then in that context would be sawoi. However, I wouldn't worry about it. You won't have to use it much. You won't be talking to nobility very often. But it is important to know nonetheless so that you can understand it, because if you're listening to news and they're talking about royalty at all, then they'll be using this term sawoi, right? Not to be confused with sangwei. Sangwei is to sacrifice. It's not the same as sawoi. Sawoi is to eat, okay? But then also there's pasa tamma. Pasa tamma, tam is dharma, right? So tamma is the dharma, so dharma language, which basically is the language of the monks. So they would use the word chan. chan, which is to eat, right? So they don't say chan ahan, though they say chan peen. Chan peen is กินข้าว all right? So up to now we have กินข้าว ทานข้าว รับประทานอาหาร chan, เสวย but then there's one word I want to, and that will also be well in conjunction with an idiom, and then I will move on to a couple more different words. So let's see. The word now is daek. Now, I swear, if I have anybody come in here and say, daek is not a polite word, do not use it, I'm going to be kind of frustrated, okay? This is, my goal in these videos is to teach the scope, the full scope, not to teach you the language you necessarily should use, okay? I'm teaching, these videos are for adults. I would like you to be aware that if I'm telling you that this word I'm about to teach you, daek, is used with people that you're really close with, it is an impolite word, but really all words that are called impolite words are no longer impolite if you're using them amongst friends or using them with company that is used to using these kinds of words. So you always have to look at what social group you're in. If you're with a bunch of 50-year-old people that talk with, that know each other really well and are still hang siang, are still saying krap and ka at the end of their sentences, you probably don't want to go saying padak kao kama, right? Right? You probably don't want to say that. You probably don't want to use the word teen instead of tao. You don't want to do that. But if you're with a bunch of 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, and they're all sitting there and say,วันนี้แดกอะไรดีวะ วันนี้แดกอะไรกันดีวะ something like this, that group is probably going to be okay if you say the word daek. So that's the word here, is daek. And daek is actually used for animals, right? And that's why it's such an insult, as you probably know. Sat, animal, is quite an insult in Thai. Calling someone a water monitor a hiya is like calling them a motherfucker. So using animal terminology, right? I think it comes from the sentence, it sort of is influenced, at least by the sentence in Buddhism, that มนุษย์เป็นสัตว์ที่ประเสริฐกว่าสัตว์ชนิดอื่นทั้งหลายทั้งปวง So you know, the human being is the animal that is superior to all other kinds of animals, right? So it's this idea that when you reduce humans to an animal status, you're kind of really being impolite. So saying daek, which is usually used for animals eating, could be used as sort of a slang term for let's go eat, right? And it also is very often, and here maybe less associated with impoliteness because it's already in this culture, is daek lao, right? To go drink alcohol, right? So daek lao, daek lao kan pa, daek lao kan pa. You want to go get drunk? Daek lao kan pa. It doesn't actually mean you want to get drunk. You want to go drink, right? Okay. Now there's an idiom that comes with this that I learned really early on, and that is หมาคาบไปแดก, which is also sometimes said shortly as mคปด, right? So หมา ม คาบ คอ ไป บ แดก ด so มคปด. You might say this if สมมุติว่า let's say สมมุติว่ามีผู้หญิงคนหนึ่งที่เราชอบมากแต่ไม่กล้าเข้าไปจีบ I like this girl but I'm afraid to go and approach her to flirt with her, to actually start talking to her. ไม่กล้าเข้าไปทักทายก็เลยรอโอกาสว่าวันนี้ดูเหมือนจะไม่ใช่วันนี้ยังไม่ถึงเวลาที่คุณจะเข้าไปทักทาย Today is not the day, right? So แล้ววันต่อมา the next day ก็จะทักทายดีไหมไม่ดีกว่าวันต่อมาก็คิดอยู่ไปทักทายดีไหมไม่ดีกว่า1 อาทิตย์ผ่านไปแล้วเพื่อนอีกคนหนึ่งเห็นว่าเป็นอย่างนี้ทุกวันนี่ตกลงจะเข้าไปจีบหรือเปล่าแล้ววันต่อมาเนี่ยคือหลังจาก1 อาทิตย์เพื่อนคนนั้นก็เข้ามาแนะนำว่านี่ไปคุยกับเขาสิรออยู่นี่นะก็รอโอกาสที่แบบรู้สึกว่าแบบเหมาะกว่านี้อ่ะคือ I'm waiting for an opportunity that's more suitable than right now แล้วเพื่อนคนนี้ก็พูดขึ้นมาว่ารีบเข้าไปจีบเขาสิไม่งั้นเดี๋ยวหมาคาบไปแดกRight, so this is so man, go get on her. Otherwise, and this is kind of like in English we say the early bird gets the worm. It's not really the same because this is more like early bird gets the worm มันจะเน้นคนที่รีบอันนี้คือน้ำขึ้นให้รีบตักนะถ้าจะพูดถึง early bird gets the worm คือเวลาฝนตกหนอนจะออกมาเยอะใช่ไหมพอมีฝนผมจำไม่ได้เหตุผลทางชีวะทำไมหนอนออกมาเยอะแต่ว่าเขาก็โผล่ที่ถนนเยอะแยะใช่ไหมแล้วนกก็จะออกมาก็จะบินลงมาหยิบแล้วก็เอาไปกินใช่ไหมเอาไปแดกแต่คือว่าถ้าไม่รีบหนอนก็จะหายหมด แล้วทุกตัวใช่ไหมแล้วนกก็จะไม่มีอะไรกินส่วนอันนั้นก็คล้ายๆน้ำขึ้นให้รีบตักใช่ไหมพอน้ำขึ้นเนี่ยเราก็ไม่รู้ว่าน้ำมันจะขึ้นนานแค่ไหนก็เหมือนหนอนเราไม่รู้ว่าหนอนอยู่ที่ถนนอีกนานแค่ไหนแต่อันนี้หมาคาบไปแดก right it's different it's more like don't be the last one, like, don't wait around too long. I can't think of any idioms that really express this in English. If you can, please write it down low. Or even if you have any suggestions, we'll think about it. We'll work through this together. Okay? So ma kaap by daek, right? It's like, hurry up and do it. If you don't, literally, okay, so I didn't explain the meaning. So ma, dog, right? Kaap is to take something in the mouth. So like, if Xiao Gui brings a toy and he's got, that's called kaap. This action is called kaap. To keep it in your mouth, right? By go daek. So literally, it's the dog will come and pick it up with its mouth and go eat it itself. So basically, if you don't hurry up and hit on this girl, or if you don't, and I've only heard it used in this sentence. I don't know if it's used in other kind of senses, but yeah, here, so definitely with relationships, right? รีบเข้าไปสิไม่งั้นเดี๋ยวหมาคาบไปแดก something like that. Be careful that you say คาบไปแดก and not ฆ่าไปแดกนะฆ่า to kill คาบไปแดกคาบไปแดก right? To take in the mouth คาบ okay. โอเคใช่ยังเหลือ2คำนะครับคือเหลือคำว่ากระซวก so กระซวก could be used for both food and beverage so you could say กระซวกน้ำ or กระซวกข้าวกระซวก whatever right กระซวกพิซซ่าไป1ถาด I've used this a lot กระซวกพิซซ่าไป1ถาด because you count pizza 1ชิ้น is one slice or 1ถาด is a tray or a pan of pizza right so กระซวกไปแล้ว1ถาด means we destroyed one tray of pizza or one full pizza, right? You can use this with all kinds of things. กระซวกไปแล้ว2ขวด might be used for alcohol, right? Or แดกไปแล้ว2ขวด, right? Now, so กระซวก can be used pretty widely. It's a pretty cool slang word. Usually Thais are impressed if you know the word กระซวก. It's kind of like to destroy or to bash or to chow down if it's food, right? If you have like a whole bunch of food though, and you and this group goes in and you just tear it up. You just take it all out. You just eat every last bit of it. Then you might say สังหารเรียบร้อยแล้วสังหาร actually means like to execute. It's related to like ประหารชีวิต to execute literally. สังหาร could also be, I'm pretty sure that's what we usually call it, to execute. But it could just mean to kill, to make, die, to murder, execute, dispatch. So สังหารนั่นแหละครับ so you could use that as well. All right, but สังหารกระซวก are more slang, and I would not be throwing them around all the time. You have to รู้จักต้องรู้จักกาลเทศะ You have to know the appropriate time and place, right? Gala is from the word gan, time, and tesa is I'm not actually sure where that comes from. I think it's from like tesa, like the word tesakan has to do with an event, like a festival kind of thing. So I think it might be sort of this like idea of place here. So you have to know the proper time and place. In any case, gala tesa. So I wouldn't just be walking up to everybody like, "But กระซวกกันดีไหม?" That just sounds weird. But use it when you're talking about yourself. Maybe you're hungry, really hungry. Oh, หิวมากอยากกระซวก blah blah blah, whatever. Or if somebody says หิวไหมอ๋อไม่ครับเมื่อกี้เพิ่งกระซวก whatever ไป5 นาทีที่แล้ว right? So something like this, you could say that. But I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't take กระซวกand think, oh, it's slang for eat. I'm going to use it for eat all the time. No, it's expressing really getting something eaten quickly. Okay? โอเคครับขอบคุณครับที่ดูวิดีโอของผมแล้วก็รอคอยติดตามต่อไปนะครับสวัสดีครับ